Hi everyone, nice to see you at the Freeman Channel. I have a new portion of decent information for you. Let's get started. Picture this. You walk into a clothing store and spot two plain white t-shirts lying side by side. Same fabric, same stitching, same factory. One costs $12. The other costs $480 because it has a tiny red logo stitched near the chest. Logic says this shouldn't work. Every economics class ever taught us that higher prices reduce demand. Humans are supposed to chase efficiency, value, utility. And yet, the $480 shirt sells out in minutes. People line up overnight. Some put it on credit cards they'll be paying off for years. Here's the twist. If that same shirt dropped to $30, no one would want it anymore. The demand exists because the price is absurd. This isn't capitalism malfunctioning. This is human psychology doing exactly what it evolved to do. And that bug in our brain has a name: the status glitch. This phenomenon is called the Veblen effect, where higher prices increase desire instead of killing it. For certain products, price isn't a downside, it's the entire point. Welcome to the economy of status. My name is Freeman, and this channel exists to break down why smart people keep making financial decisions that quietly sabotage their future. If you've ever felt pulled toward buying something you knew you didn't need just because it made you feel successful, this video is for you. Today, we're unpacking why humans are obsessed with signaling wealth, how luxury brands turn insecurity into profit, and why trying to look rich is the fastest way to never be rich. A man who figured this out 125 years ago. To understand this, we rewind to 1899. A sharp, grumpy economist named Thorstein Veblen looked at the world around him, the age of oil barons, rail tycoons, and inherited fortunes, and noticed something strange. People weren't buying things because they were useful. They were buying things because they were wasteful. Heavy silverware no one wanted to eat with. Clothes designed to restrict movement. Objects that made life harder, not easier. That's when Veblen coined the term conspicuous consumption. His insight was brutal and simple. In a social hierarchy, the fastest way to prove high status is to publicly waste resources. If you can afford inefficiency, you must be powerful. When price is the product. In normal markets, price is friction. It's the pain you endure to get the thing. But in status markets, price is the feature. A Rolex doesn't tell time better than a $15 digital watch. A designer bag doesn't hold items better than a canvas tote. What you're paying for is exclusion. If luxury brands suddenly became affordable, they wouldn't become more popular, they'd collapse. The moment everyone can have it, it stops meaning anything. That's why these products rely on artificial scarcity, waiting lists, invite-only access, and prices detached from reality. They don't sell goods, they sell membership. The trap that keeps the middle class stuck. Here's where things get dark. Ultra-wealthy people buy status items using excess money. It doesn't change their trajectory. But the middle class imitates them using borrowed money. This is called pecuniary emulation, copying the consumption of people above you to signal success. So people finance cars, lease lifestyles, and upgrade phones they don't need, not for utility, but for appearances. They trade investments for impressions, assets for liabilities, freedom for approval. The irony? By trying to look wealthy, they destroy the very system that could have made them wealthy. Biology is the enemy. This urge isn't accidental. In nature, status equals survival. Think of a peacock. Bright colors, massive tail, slow and vulnerable. That tail is a handicap, and that's the point. It screams, "I'm so strong I can survive despite this disadvantage." Luxury consumption is the human version of that tail. We buy oversized houses, high-maintenance cars, things that drain us, not because they help us, but because they signal dominance. The treadmill never stops. Here's the final trick. The moment something becomes accessible, it stops signaling status. So elites move on. Logos become tacky. Flash becomes new money. Now it's quiet luxury, subtle brands, no labels. And the middle class scrambles to keep up again. You're chasing people with unlimited resources while running on debt and stress. It's a race you can't win. The exit strategy. So how do you escape? You opt out. Because in the modern world, real status isn't stuff, it's freedom. The person with no car payment, no consumer debt, money invested quietly, and the ability to walk away from a job has more power than someone flexing a luxury badge while living paycheck to paycheck. True wealth is invisible. It's the purchases you don't make, the upgrades you skip, the validation you no longer need. Before your next big buy, ask, is this solving a real problem? Or am I sending a signal? If no one could see it, would I still want it? If not, you're paying for approval. And approval is the most expensive drug on earth. Final thought. Veblen showed us that humans are wired to chase shiny objects. But wiring isn't destiny. You can choose compounding over consumption, freedom over flexing, peace over performance. The strongest signal you can send isn't on your wrist or your driveway. It's calm, control, and a future you actually own. This is Freeman. If this video changed how you see your next purchase, hit like. Subscribe if you're done playing the status game. I'll see you in the next one.